Hi everyone, I welcome all of you in this lecture. So in this lecture we will discuss one theorem, and in previous lecture we have already discussed about definition of a range of T. Okay, now its a theorem is that is let T from V to U be a linear transformation, then range of T is a subspace of V. Okay, so these are our given condition, that is this is our given condition, and we only have to prove here that is a range of T is a subspace of V. Now main question is what is the subspace. Actually we have already discussed what is a subspace in previous lecture, and we have already solved so many examples which are related to this subspace. Okay, again we can write it in short like this, that is if W is my set and we have to prove this W as a subspace, then we have to satisfy these three conditions. That is, firstly show that this condition, that is this W is should be non-empty. Second condition is a closure property with respect to addition must satisfy in W. Similarly, scalar multiplication property is closed in W. Okay, so second condition and third condition we can write it as like this also, that is alpha x plus beta y belongs to W. Okay, so with the help of these three condition or with the help of this first and this second condition, we can clearly say that given set any W is a subspace. Okay, so with the help of this definition, that is with these formulas, we can solve now this range of T is a subspace of V. So firstly, to prove this theorem, we will consider our given conditions, that is T from V to U be a linear transformation. For that purpose we will consider this term, that is a T from V to U be linear transformation, where V is our domain and U is my codomain, and there is a transformation in between V and U. Okay, now similarly here we have a one word, that is a range of T. Okay, from previous lecture, what is the range of T? Of course, range of T is denoted by T of V. Okay, T of V is a collection of all the images, that is a T of V, such that these V are from domain, that is V belongs to my domain V. Also this can also be written as like this, that is a collection of all the codomain, that is when we take U from codomain, then this U can also be written as like this, that is a collection of all the images, and this small v also belongs to from my domain. Okay, so this is the definition of a range of T, either write this or write this. Okay, so these are our given conditions. Now only we have to prove here that is this range of T is a subspace. For that, firstly we will prove our given range of T is a non-empty set. So for that purpose we have already obtained one relation in previous lectures, that is as T of 0 is equal to how much? 0. Okay, so with the help of this formula we can write that is T of 0 is equal to 0 if this is my value domain and this is my codomain, as this is my codomain, and codomain we will call it as U, and this is my V, and when we take transformation in between them, if this is my 0 and when we apply T on this 0, then its image will give us T of 0, but T of 0 is equal to how much? 0. So that means this is nothing but a 0, and 0 is a part of our which term? That is a subspace, and this is nothing but a image, and image is nothing but image is a collection of all the range set, that is a range of T. So this T of 0 equal to 0 which belongs to my range of T, and which is of course a subset of which term? That is a codomain, that is a subset of my codomain. Okay, so this is nothing but when we take a 0 from my domain and when we apply transformation on this 0, then we will have this image of 0 here, that is T of 0, but from this result T of 0 is equal to 0, that is 0. So this is my range set, that is a collection of all my image set, and this is a present in my codomain, that is a U. Therefore we can write it as like this, that is T of 0 equal to 0. This is satisfying my given condition, that is my definition. Therefore this condition belongs to my range of T, and range of T of course is present in our codomain, therefore it is a subset of U. So from this condition, range of T contains at least one element, therefore R of T is a non-empty, minimum one element is there, therefore R of T is a non-empty subset of this codomain, that is a subset of my set U. Okay, so this is my first condition. Therefore we have obtained this first condition, that is a non-empty case. Okay, to prove the second condition and third condition, we will go through this condition. Okay, so for that purpose we will consider two elements from scalar and similarly two elements from our given set. So here we have a set as a R of t, therefore we will choose two elements from this R of t. So let x and y both are belongs to my range of t, and range of t contains all the elements is of the type like this, that is, consider t of x comma t of y which belongs to my R of t. Okay, this is possible because of our definition. If these are two my transformation, that is range of t, then we will consider its a corresponding two scalar, that is alpha and beta belongs to my field F. Then we will consider now its multiplication and addition, that is one element from scalar, one element from that set. Similarly, one element from scalar and one element from set, and take its addition. So consider this alpha as it is, that is alpha, one element from our this set, that is R of t, that is a t of x, plus beta, that is we will take this beta as it is, and t of y. Okay, since we have a one condition, that is t is what? Linear transformation. And in previous lectures, what is a linear transformation? When we take t of alpha x, then we can write it as a alpha t of x, or if we have alpha t of x, then we can write it as like this, that is t of alpha x. This is possible because of t is linear transformation. So from this condition, this equation can also be written as like this, that is alpha tx will give us value t of alpha x. Similarly, here alpha t of x will give us answer t of alpha x. Take this middle sign, that is a plus sign as it is. Similarly, beta t of y we can write as like this, that is t of beta y, and this is possible with the help of this condition, and this is condition is from t is a linear transformation. Okay, this is the one condition of a linear transformation. Another condition is when we take t of x plus y, that is with respect to addition, then we can write it like as like this, that is t of x plus t of y. And why this is true? Because t is a linear transformation. This is our condition. So from this, when we have a t of x plus t of y, then we can write it as like this, that is t of x plus y. Now we have a t of alpha x plus t of beta y, then we can write it as like this, that is t of x plus beta y. Okay, and this is true because of a t is a linear transformation. So now we have obtained this condition. Now compare this element to our given definition. So t of v, if t of v occurs, then this t of v must belongs to our range of t, that is our set, given set. So similarly, in place of t of v, we have now t of alpha x plus beta y, and this is our definition. So this satisfies our given definition. Therefore this will belongs to our range of t, that is R of t. Therefore we can write this as a t of alpha x plus beta y, which belongs to our set R of t. Okay, range of t. When RHS belongs to R of t, then automatically this LHS also belongs to our range of t. So hence we have obtained alpha t of x plus beta t of y belongs to our given set, that is R of t, and this is nothing but our equation number 2. So we have obtained this second condition of a subspace. Firstly, in equation number 1 we have obtained this non-empty case, and now we have obtained this condition in equation number 2. Okay, so from this one condition and from two condition, we can say given set R of t is a subspace of which term? Of course codomain, that is a subspace of my term U, and this is the most important case of range of t. Hence we have obtained this value, that is let t from V to U be a linear transformation, then range of t is a subspace of U. Okay.